Welcome to The Explainer. If you've ever watched a brilliant piece of educational content and wondered how top-tier global AI material is constructed behind the scenes, well, the reality is it isn't just random magic. It requires a highly specific, standardized blueprint. Today, we're going to deconstruct that exact blueprint directly from our source material to see exactly what makes it tick. All right, let's dive right into this. First, we'll start with the master blueprint, then move to defining the global audience. After that, structuring time and tone, followed by the technical production toolkit, and finally, we'll wrap up with driving final engagement. So, part 1, the master blueprint, the foundations of video 2. Moving right into part 2, defining the global audience. Who exactly is this for? Before you even write a single word, you have to define exactly who your message needs to reach. For this blueprint, the viewership is actually categorized into 5 distinct demographics: global viewers, AI enthusiasts, professionals, developers, and students worldwide. We aren't just talking to seasoned coders, and we aren't just talking to folks casually surfing the web. These 5 incredibly distinct groups form one massive, unified target audience. Now, you might be thinking, that sounds like a huge challenge, and you'd hit the nail on the head. Bridging the gap from a general global viewer to a highly technical developer in a single presentation is, well, it's really tough. The source points out the absolute necessity of crafting something that simultaneously appeals to someone who literally just discovered neural networks yesterday, right alongside a hardcore professional actively building them. How do you possibly satisfy both ends of that spectrum without totally alienating either? You do it through rigorous structure. Which brings us to section 3, structuring time and tone, the content framework. To keep that giant, diverse crowd locked in, the primary boundary is strictly set at 8 to 10 minutes. That's it. What you should absolutely take away from this is that this specific window is the mandated sweet spot for AI education. Why? Because it's long enough to unpack complex technical concepts for the developers, but perfectly concise enough that general viewers and students avoid total cognitive overload. It genuinely respects your time while delivering maximum value. And inside that critical 8 to 10 minute window, the blueprint demands some very specific narrative rules. First off, a native-style English script, meaning the language has to flow naturally and conversationally, just like we're talking right now. Next up, professional storytelling. We are definitely not just dryly reciting data from a textbook here, we're building a compelling narrative. And finally, it absolutely must be anchored by modern AI examples. You simply can't explain cutting-edge technology with 5-year-old references, right? This exact tonal combination is what keeps every single segment of our 5-part audience entirely engaged. All right, on to section 4, the technical production toolkit, building the visuals. Now that we've got the ground rules set, let's categorize the blueprint's raw list of technical inclusions to see how this machine really operates. On the visual side of things, we've got our modern AI examples, B-roll suggestions, and motion graphics ideas. But then on the retention side, we have the complete SEO package, info cards, the end screen, and the CTA. It's basically a perfect split between what you actively see on screen to understand the topic and the back-end strategies working quietly to keep you interacting with the material long-term. Let's zoom in on those visual tools for a second. The mandated inclusion of B-roll suggestions and motion graphics ideas isn't just for decoration. It's not just to make things look pretty. Think about it. Explaining artificial intelligence can get incredibly abstract and theoretical. By ensuring a seamless flow of targeted B-roll and dynamic motion graphics, the visual flow actually does the heavy lifting to support the complex AI topics. It visually anchors the technical concepts so that the entire audience, from high school students to senior professionals, can completely grasp the material without getting completely lost in the weeds of the jargon. And that leads us to our final section, part 5, driving final engagement, closing the loop. Okay, so to maximize reach and drive the viewer to actually take a meaningful action, the blueprint requires a highly specific 3-step sequence. Step 1. Info cards. These are deployed mid-content to give you extra context or resources without breaking your flow. Step 2, the end screen. As those 8 to 10 minutes are wrapping up, this visually transitions you to the final destination. And step 3, the CTA, or call to action. You are guided seamlessly from passively learning to actively participating. It's a highly calculated funnel built directly into the explainer's DNA from day one. But let's be real for a second. None of this brilliant structure matters if nobody actually finds the explainer. And that brings us to the anchor, the complete SEO package. The source explicitly lists this as a primary, absolute, non-negotiable requirement. Wrapping the script, the B-roll, the professional storytelling, and those CTAs into a comprehensive search engine optimization package is exactly what ensures this perfectly crafted content actually reaches its diverse global audience. It is the silent engine driving the whole shebang forward. Which leaves us with a pretty fascinating final thought. We've gone through the precise audience targeting, that strict 8 to 10 minute cap, the required storytelling elements, and the technical retention tools. So, is this strict blueprint the ultimate formula for global AI education? As artificial intelligence becomes an increasingly massive part of our daily lives, is this highly structured, specific approach the definitive key to shaping how humanity effectively learns and understands these incredibly complex concepts? It certainly provides a powerful, proven framework to build from. Think about that the next time you're watching a top-tier explainer. Thanks so much for joining me to deconstruct this amazing blueprint.